Today in Portland, Oregon, shadow games at City Hall, climate cash under attack, artists fighting for survival, a timeout for power-hungry data centers, and a county leadership slugfest. Buckle up.
I'm Vixie Steele. This is Loud and Local in Portland, Oregon. First up, Lori Wimmer, the unseen hand behind Portland City Council decisions. Look, records show that since January 2025, Lori Wimmer, Executive Secretary Treasurer of the Northwest Oregon Labor Council, has been whispering in ears and shaping outcomes. Not my words, the paper trail. In January 2026, she even floated the idea that councillors sue the city to break a tie over the council presidency. Sue the city to settle a leadership spat. What fresh disaster is this? And it's not a one-off. Back in April 2025, she disinvited a councillor from Nolt's Labour Appreciation Dinner, a message wrapped in fancy clothes. Add in her involvement with labour issues and ties to the police union, and you have a power broker moving pieces from the shadows while claiming she's just an observer. Honestly, I've had it with this nonsense. Call me when people grow a spine. Here's the kicker. Her lobbyist registration lapsed at the start of 2026. So while she's nudging votes and strategy, the paperwork is snoozing. Unbelievable, but not surprising. The big picture is simple. Unions can and do have clout. Fine. But do it in daylight. If you want to shape leadership or push moderates over progressives, put it on the record. Otherwise it reeks. And mate, it stinks to high heaven. Moving on, before I break something. Speaking of money, clean energy funds at risk. Portland's police funding controversy is the flashpoint. The police union-backed Enhanced Community Safety Initiative wants to carve off 25% of the Portland Clean Energy Fund to hire more cops. That fund is a 1% surcharge on big box corporate sales, approved by voters in 2018 to cut carbon and deliver climate justice, not to plug general budget holes because City Hall can't budget without a panic attack. A Multnomah County judge mostly sided with the initiative last month, but thanks to a technical error, it has to be refiled. That delay could cost them the November ballot. Climate and social justice groups are livid, and with good reason. The proposal even says the city can't cut the police general fund when it grabs PSEF cash. So it's not a swap, it's a pile-on. Jesus Christ. This is raiding a future-facing fund to fix a present mess. Short-sighted, cowardly, and expensive down the line. You want more officers? Fine. Make the case in the budget like adults. Don't mug climate dollars that voters earmarked for cleaner air and greener jobs. To be fair, public safety matters, but you don't set the house on fire to warm your hands. I shouldn't have to say this, but here we fucking are. Next up, from climate cash to culture, Portland arts in crisis after NEA cuts. When Donald Trump rolled back into the White House in January 2025, provisional NEA grants got axed in the spring, and local theatres and orgs took it on the chin. Portland Playhouse, after a decade of steady NEA support, found out on opening night that their grant had been cut. Artists' Rep, which had received 8 NEA grants between 2007 and 2022, was hit. Pika, home of the time-based art festival, is scrambling. Oregon Humanities lost about 40% of its annual operating budget when NEH money tanked. That is a body blow. There was one weird blip. Portland Center Stage reportedly secured a $35,000 NEA grant for a new play festival spotlighting LGBTQ+ playwrights, even as others were cancelled. But the overall story is brutal. These groups are leaning harder on individual donors and City Hall to plug gaps. Art is not fluff, it's the wiring in a city's soul. Slash it and neighbourhoods go quiet, kids lose venues, and our stages go dim. Back in my day, people had fucking standards. We funded what mattered. And while arts are bleeding out, corporate server farms are angling for perks. Alright, let's keep this train wreck rolling. Oregon halts tax breaks for data centers amid environmental backlash.
HB 4084 was set to juice enterprise zone tax exemptions from 5 to 10 years to woo new investment, but lawmakers yanked data centers out of it, at least for now. Why? Because data centers chew through electricity like a teenager raiding your fridge. They account for 11% of Oregon's total power consumption, much of it for server farms drawn by our no sales tax landscape. That's not nothing, that's massive. Governor Tina Kotek set up a data center advisory committee in January to get policy recommendations by October. Finally, someone gets it. Look, I like the internet, but I also like not collapsing the grid every August. If you want tax exemptions, show your math on water use, renewable offsets, and what you give back besides a couple of security guard jobs. No more free passes for energy guzzlers. Respect where it's due for hitting pause. And now on to another brawl inside the race for Multnomah County Chair. Commissioners Shannon Singleton and Julia Brim-Edwards are in. Ranked choice voting will sort it in November. Meanwhile, the county's budget is tight as hell and cuts are looming across departments. The stakes aren't theoretical. They're your library hours, your health clinics, your shelter capacity. Singleton was elected in 2024 in a special and used to run the Joint Office of Homeless Services. Her pitch: integrate services, stop spraying money on emergency band-aids, and push long-term housing solutions. She says the county's obsession with emergency response has crowded out permanent exits from the street. That's a serious critique, and frankly, not wrong. Brim-Edwards, an ex-Nike exec and former Portland Public Schools board member, endorsed by Mayor Keith Wilson, wants data-driven operations and a stronger law enforcement baseline. Translation: more cops, clearer metrics, tighter management. Different flavours, same budget famine. Public safety and homelessness are joined at the hip. Do one without the other, and you waste cash and time. I don't make the rules, but I do enforce them. Here's what matters. Whoever wins has to pick people over politics. Measure what works, cut what doesn't. Stop the turf wars between city and county. And for the love of all things holy, deliver outcomes, not press conferences. If I see one more dashboard with 0 beds added and one more ribbon cutting for a plan about a plan, I will lose it. Quick recap while your coffee gets cold. We have a Labour leader with major behind-the-scenes sway over City Hall, while her lobbyist registration went poof. We have a push to strip a quarter of a voter-mandated climate fund to pay for policing, with a court-ordered do-over stalling it. We have arts groups on life support after federal cuts, scrambling to crowdsource survival. We put data centres in the penalty box because they drain 11% of our state's power. And we have a county chair race where both candidates promise grown-up management during a budget apocalypse. Listen, if there's a theme today, it's this. Stop doing the important stuff in the dark. Stop raiding the future to pay for today's panic. Fund the arts, because a city without culture is just traffic and beige walls. Demand companies prove their worth before we shower them with tax gifts. And make leaders show receipts, not vibes. Because right now, too many people in suits are playing chess with our lives, and they think we won't notice. We notice, and we're bloody sick of it. Do the job in the daylight with the damn paperwork, or get out of the way. I swear, Portland, we deserve better than this half-baked, backroom, budget-raiding circus. Fix it, or get the fuck off the stage. That's today's dose of reality on Loud and Local with Vixie Steele in Portland, Oregon. Go out there and make a difference. See you tomorrow.